So, as of this recording, the Mario movie comes out tomorrow, and I was actually able to watch it last night, and I gotta say, I loved it. So, I'm trying to review it without any actual story spoilers. Um, so the movie itself was such a fun action, funny movie. The storyline was a bit basic, but everything else really made up for it. I'm usually pretty critical about movies nowadays. It takes a lot to kind of really satisfy me in that aspect. Even though I'll still watch, every Marvel movie, and I get mad about every Marvel movie being lackluster. But um, this movie, I think, and it could possibly be the nostalgia just, cranking up. But as somebody who grew up with this franchise, I have really, really deep nostalgia for it. I just absolutely loved it. Um, my only critique really is that it was a little too short. It felt a little bit rushed in some sections. Um, like each act could have been like an extra 10 to 15 minutes of more fleshing out the story, and it would have been perfect. To me personally, I really hate the very cringe kitty comedy that sometimes like Marvel takes, um, and the humor here was actually surprisingly well written. I was really expecting more kitty cringe humor since obviously they want to keep it clean. Nintendo's known for being a very clean humor kind of company, but for the restrictions that they had as far as how far they can push jokes, the jokes were pretty well written and actually really well timed. I also do feel like maybe some things could have been added to this movie, but it's nothing that took away from the overall experience. I believe that it's because they're teasing for the follow-up movie that is likely going to happen, and I think a lot of these missing pieces will likely appear in this following movie. I know that one of the critiques out there were they didn't like how Peach was portrayed in the trailers as far as her being, a badass, and I don't know why people didn't like that idea. Um, I was on the fence. I didn't care either way. I wanted to experience it before I had a real opinion on it. But I thought that the whole Peach being, a badass thing was was not coming off woke or anything like that. Like the way that Marvel doesn't tend to know how to write female characters. It feels very forced. But Illumination and Nintendo really do know how to write a female character, so Marvel's got to take notes. Peach was one of the best characters in the whole movie. Her persona was not didn't feel forced. It felt very natural, and I'm actually really excited for more badass Peach. I hope that they make an actual video game where you can play as Peach, like in this kind of persona where she's not just the damsel in distress. She's a lot more than that. Um, the other characters were also amazing. Mario was Mario. Luigi was great. Even Toad. Toad was really funny. He was really great. Donkey Kong was a little bit more humorous than I thought he was going to be, but it was kind of expected being Seth Rogen as the voice. But yeah, Donkey Kong was also great. Every character was just great. One of the main things also was Chris Pratt as the voice actor did scare me a bit when it was announced, and as we saw trailers, we were kind of like, eh. But honestly, once the movie started, once you got pulled into this experience and this story and this whole world, you really didn't notice that it was really Chris Pratt talking. It was just sounded like a guy, And yeah, I don't think that his performance was anything to complain about, really. And that goes for all the other voice actors. Everybody was great. Everybody did their part well. So, for my overall score rating, uh, I think I have two ratings. I think objectively, if I didn't have the nostalgia, which is it's really hard to take away the nostalgia and rate it properly. But if you take away the nostalgia, if you don't know any references, there's not too much of an emotional attachment to the characters and the story and the world. Um, I would say it's probably a solid, somewhere between 7 and 8. But as somebody who grew up with this franchise and loves it, and I just adored the movie. That was super cute, fun, funny movie. Personally, I'd give it like a 9.5. It was just lacking a little bit in the maybe a little bit more story should have been added to it. Maybe an extra 20 minutes, even 30 minutes of story. 9.5 out of 10 for me. And could be the nostalgia, but I love the movie. If you grew up with this franchise, go watch it. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time.